Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we'll unlock the book Buffett, The Making of an American Capitalist. From January to May every year, investors from all over the world go on a pilgrimage to Omaha, a small city in the Midwest of the United States, to absorb Warren Buffett's wisdom on investment. Buffett's articles and words are regarded as a Bible by his many fans who recite his words as if they're sacred verse. Buffett says finance and investment are as easy as talking about the weather with grocery staff. When he speaks, he never uses difficult or obscure academic terms that sound foreign to listeners. Even ordinary people without any background knowledge can understand his analysis of the financial world. The reason why Buffett is so adored by people lies in his great achievements and charming personality. In 2008, Buffett surpassed Bill Gates on the Forbes 400 to become the richest man in the world. He had $62 billion in assets. Unlike other successful people, he's the only person who attained his unprecedented riches through investment alone. He's also an entrepreneur and former corporate manager. Buffett is not a serious man in a suit who sits in an office building. He's more like everyone's favorite uncle. On one hand, he focuses on work. On the other, he's an easygoing and humorous man who always treats people kindly. There's no need to overstate Buffett's success. Although it's hard for us to summarize Buffett's life completely, we can learn from his investment experience and life wisdom. This biography describes Buffett's life during 3 periods and shows us how he gained his investment experience in boyhood, youth, middle and old age. We'll get to know Buffett's rules for living, his investment philosophy, and why he does what he does. The author of this book is Roger Lowenstein, a senior financial reporter for the Wall Street Journal. To write this book, Lowenstein researched Buffett and collected materials for many years. He also conducted several interviews with Buffett's family, friends, business partners and so on, and their stories gave him a comprehensive, true and detailed picture of the great investor. The result is a classic of investment literature that every global investor should read. Next, we'll summarize the book in 3 parts. Part 1, The Boyhood Buffett. Part 2, The Young Buffett. Part 3, The Middle-Aged and Elderly Buffett. In 1929, the United States plunged suddenly into the Great Depression, which destroyed financial markets and human lives across the country and around the world. Buffett was born in the second year of the Great Depression, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska. He was a 6-pound baby and was born 5 weeks prematurely. Warren Buffett would later dominate the financial world. However, in the years around his birth, most American people, including Buffett's family members, were struggling. During the Great Depression, thousands of people in the United States were unemployed, and most of them needed government relief to survive. By 1933, more than 11,000 people in Buffett's hometown Omaha had applied for government relief. Buffett's mother didn't have a stable job and the bank where his father worked closed. After this, his father started a company to sell investment securities. Buffett lived in poverty during his childhood, and these difficult years left him with deep and lasting memories. The fear of poverty and the desire to become rich pushed Buffett to start considering how to make more money. When other children were playing with each other, Buffett at the age of 5 set up a small stall in front of his house to sell chewing gum. When he was 6, he sold Coke on the street, and he began to do market research when he was 9. Furthermore, Buffett sorted bottle caps that he picked up to figure out which drinks sold best, and by extension which company earned the most profit. Gradually, he dreamed up more and more ways to make money. Buffett once had a high fever when he was 7 years old. The doctor performed an ileocecal resection to cure him of his illness. After the operation, Buffett was very weak. However, instead of thinking about how to recover from his illness, he wrote numbers down on paper. A nurse asked him what these numbers represented. "I don't have much money now," Buffett replied cheerfully. "But someday I will, and I'll have my picture in the paper." Even at that young age, Buffett had a blueprint for his future and all of his expectations have been realized. Some people make money to make a living. For Buffett, his only desire